Hey, what's up? It's me, Elay, pronounced like LA, like the city. I'm not from there, but I'm breezy, and you are on number 5, making friends as an introvert, kindergarten, my life. Hey, once again, I'm coming to you live off the dome, so the experience can be as real as authentic and raw as possible. Coming off of the dome, trying to remember everything. Okay, kindergarten. Let's see, kindergarten. I still was going to the same school I previously talked about in the last video. I went to Jesse Loomis in kindergarten. And I remember kindergarten, and I don't understand what was up with the classes. It was like, the first class in preschool was big. The second classroom was ginormous. And you know what? The playroom was like, to die for, man. It was like the classroom was bigger. It was crazy. It was like 2 classrooms in one. So it was divided off in 2 sections. So the first half, when we go over to the right, was the actual classroom. And it was a big, full, standard-sized classroom. But get this, on the left, in that same room, was another space. And it was a little bit bigger than the classroom. But it had an upstairs. And that whole side, to the left, was a play area. I kid you not. I was like, what? And come to think about it, I think maybe because that wasn't the only kindergarten class in there. That wasn't the only kindergarten class in that building. Well, you know what, I'm thinking back, I think it was. I have a marker because my alleged cousin named Andrea Land went there too. But at that time, I think she was a grade ahead of me, so she was in 1st grade. We weren't in the same grade. So yeah, I believe that was the only classroom, the only kindergarten classroom, probably why it was so much bigger. But that playroom had an upstairs, and upstairs was like where the kitchen place was at. It was a whole kitchen setup. I thought that was so cool. And having said that, I was in kindergarten, and I do recall talking more in there because the room was so comfortable. The room made me feel really comfortable. And I remember in preschool, when I first saw the kindergarten class, I couldn't wait till the next year so I could go and be in that class, simply because of the upstairs playroom kitchenette set area. So I already had something to look forward to. Even if the teacher was a jerk, I wouldn't have cared because the play area was dope. So I knew I was going to play there all the time. But the thing is, when I got there and settled down in kindergarten, we had these weird things called tables. And I'm like, what the F is a tables? It was tables. That's what it was called. And unfortunately, we had real desks. And at these desks, there were like 6 to 7, heck, maybe even 8 pushed up together to make a boat or an island. And as I began to look around slowly but surely, I could feel Jaws music playing in the back of my mind. There were about 7 more of these boats or islands within the classroom, and it had desks clustered together just like mine. And then I learned the term assigned seating. So assigned seating, I glumly found out, man, you couldn't sit wherever the heck you wanted to. So that meant I couldn't sit by the window. Ugh. And then on top of that, I got to sit at the desk or the island where the bad kids were. I'm like, why? Am I bad or something? Why would you sit me at this group of tables where these kids are bad? And it didn't take long or a rocket scientist to find out who's bad or not. Judge not, lest ye be judged, says a heavy-set woman in the back of my mind. Well, sit down, Shamu. I was over-religiously brainwashed at such a young age. But I already knew just like that the kids were bad. So I just felt terrible because I knew I was doomed for the rest of that year. My only saving grace was snack time and recess. But hey, at least I had two things to look forward to instead of one. Unlike preschool, I looked forward to just independent studies, working on my own. In kindergarten, man, I didn't understand why we had to sit in clusters like that. But the teacher was like, well, because it'll help you with your interaction skills, help you learn how to work with each other, and help you with your communication, which I do get, Ask your neighbor if you need a pencil, or, if you have questions. It just gets you to be engaged more instead of being spaced out so much like in preschool. But I still wasn't down with the groups. I liked my space, and I like to have my elbows out across the desk, and I just didn't want anybody touching my desk because it's my desk. You know how kids are. Don't touch my name tag. Don't touch my desk. Oh, why you even looking over here? This is my section. Oh, you look dirty. It's like, oh, I hate this. So these are the things going on in my mind as an introvert. But nobody knew. And for the life of me, I didn't understand why all the kids were so loud and noisy still. But I figured by this time that's just how kids were. But it still bothered me. And I didn't understand why the girl next to me on the right talked so much. I just didn't get it. But at the same time, I think she knew those kids too. They were from the same neighborhood, so rightfully so. If they lived next door to one another and or was family, why not just carry a conversation you had coming to school on the bus at the desk? So duh. I easily dismissed that. She did try to talk to me sometimes. I just didn't have much to say. So, lo and behold, just like preschool, I saw the people distance themselves from me one by one. Like, Wilson, drifting away out of sight. I didn't care. I was like, praise the Lord, get the heck away from me, Satan. Leave me alone. By that time, I learned what the word fast meant. And unfortunately, the girl next to me was semi-fast, and the girl who sat behind me at the other table was a mega fast. And she was always talking about some boy that she liked. And I'm like, okay, he sat at my table. So now that I'm really thinking about all this crap, now I understood why she always talks so loud. Because she was always trying to get the attention of the boy who sat at my table, because she sat at the other table. But I wasn't getting it at the time. All I could focus on was like, B, you shouting all in my ear, and how come the teacher won't just sit you over here so you don't got to shout? Cause I can't do my homework and your voice sound weird. You know how girls' voices sound crazy when they yell? I'm like, Jesus, I can't do this. When can we go home? When is recess? Speaking of recess. That play area I always dreamt about last year. Where I was going to actually play and probably interact out with the other children. For some reason, apparently because I never finished my work fast enough, I never really got to go over there that much to play. I remember going over there once or twice. Okay, maybe 5 times, and I really think that's a stretch. I really don't ever remember going to the other side. So it's even play in the playroom. But the thing is, though, when it was time to do our work, I couldn't because everybody was talking. So I was so distracted, wondering why they were talking so much when they were supposed to be doing their work. I couldn't concentrate to do my work. So when they got done with their work, one by one, they drifted away like Wilson and went over to play. And so that's when I started doing my work, because that side of the room was semi-quiet for me to focus. But by the time I started doing my work, everybody was like over there except me, so it got too loud. So now I'm really distracted, turning around like, dang, I wish I could be over there. And I'm watching everybody play. And the teacher tapping my desk like, Ursula, do your work. I'm like, I can't do my work. It's too many distractions. But once again, I didn't say anything because I knew my place. So was that really a sign of being an introvert in that moment, or just knowing your place as a child, especially back then in the 80s, early 90s? You don't talk to your teachers. You don't say nothing to your teacher, but yes, sir, no, sir, no, ma'am, yes, ma'am. You don't back talk when they tell you to do something. You say, huh. So, you know, I just was quiet and was like, okay. So I really got to be over there. So kindergarten was kind of stressful, and that's just the routine every day. And then also, you know, to only to rain on my parade as an introvert. Snack time was whack time, WACK, because I don't know why my teacher just brought windmill cookies every day. Windmill cookies make me vomit. I mean, I got so tired of windmill cookies. Just thinking about it, I'm feeling sick. I might have to just stop this type of regurgitate. I am literally, my stomach is clutching. I feel a little light reflex coming on in my throat. Windmill cookies. I'm like, why do we get these every day? I think I was almost in tears. I'm like, why don't we get lunch? She was like, oh, because you're only here part-time. I'm like, part-time? What do you mean we only here part-time? Like, you only come here half a day. Half a day? But in preschool, we got like food. Like FOOD. So you mean to tell me in kindergarten, I can't even play? Because I don't finish my working time because there's too many distractions. So technically, I don't have recess. We only here half a day. And every day we gonna get these windmill cookies that taste terrible. And they hard. So I'm like, I don't want to break my teeth because how come all these kids running around and their teeth look bad already? I'm not gonna look like them. I'm like, how can you have chunks missing out of your teeth already? What do y'all do? Throw rocks at each other? You know? Dog. Really? I'm like, I didn't get along with anybody. I tried to make friends with this one girl, but that didn't turn out well because that's when, unfortunately, I found out boys could like girls in a different way. She stopped liking me because the boy she allegedly liked me. I'm like, I didn't know. You don't got to push me down for something I didn't know. Shoot, you can have them. Oh. So once again, I was alone. Our recess yard was connected to a flower shop. The flower shop sat on the edge of the street. And for some reason, I don't remember what the street was called. It might have been called Weber. But every day we went out to recess. When we did have recess, or, you know, like to go outside just to play for a break, I would picture myself going to the fence, passing the fence, and just running away. Just... You know, every day I have a recess where we got to go. I just looked at that fence and was wondering if I could run fast enough just to leave school and just go home. I mean, every day. I don't remember hardly playing that much. I just remember just sitting there by myself like, think I'll make it today? Like I was in jail, like in life. You know how they had a part where if you cross the line, you got shot? Well, that's how I felt in kindergarten. Every day, I'm like, I wonder if I can make it. Get the H out of here, because I don't want to play with these kids, and they sure don't want to play with me. And I don't like what they're playing. You know, and they talk about boyfriends and girlfriends already. I'm like, I don't even, I mean, come on. What? So, And what gave me the ray of hope that I could probably run away from school and go home was because our teachers, I swear they was outside smoking cigarettes while we was playing. Because you know how from a distance smokers, ladies who smoke and they're tired, they put their hands on their hip. And she had her hands like in a V, and there was something in between her fingers, and she kept putting like the stick up to her mouth. I had no idea those were cigarettes, but thinking about it now, the women were out there taking the cigarette break while we were outside playing. So I probably could have got away with running away. Oh Lord, life as an introvert. I think recess was the hardest. I mean, if the kids just shut the H up, school would have been so much better. But I mean, you can't tell nobody's kids what to do. This LA man, and I'm so out.